Episode 2, classic Doctor Who cold open. Interesting because, as we're saying, if we're calling this season 1 purely because Disney doesn't get the backlog till like next year.
And also, they need to bring in new people. They need to make people forget.
So I thought it was interesting that then this becomes this almost meta, looking down the lens and then having the piano. Because I thought that was really cute.
Multiple meta things.
Yes. Cute for someone who's watched 15 seasons. Kind
Doesn't
of
work
weird
as well
for someone on the 3rd episode of a show.
Thought the exact same thing.
Yeah, you know.
Like, I mean, obviously they get it. They're like, oh, it's the theme song. But it's less of a reaction, I guess.
Yes. Has Doctor Who ever had a musical episode like Scrubs had a musical episode?
No.
Or The Flash? How have they never just had a...
I mean, I was going to say The Flash had a musical episode.
Yeah, The Flash.
And it's because they're like, wait a minute. We have 2 Glee actors. Why haven't we got them singing?
Shooty, I think, can sing and dance a little bit. He's...
well, I mean, at the end of this, assuming that's his voice.
So
Anyway.
It felt like that, where they were. I was like, yeah, why isn't this just the musical episode at Abbey Road? This feels like it writes itself. You know, oh, the Beatles are here. Oh, hello there. I kept waiting for John to say Imagine the whole time. I kept waiting.
It seems pretty stock standard to take away music and be like, the world's bad now.
Oh, no.
It's a fun line of like, oh, humans without music don't know why they're angry. Like, they have no way to express their feelings, so they go to war. I'm like, that's nice. Like, that's a good punch. But I feel like they didn't use the premise of the whole episode.
Yes. Starting off, I think the introduction of Maestro, played by Jinx Monsoon. I've been accidentally calling her the other drag queen, Trixie Mattel, even though they're separate. Just
Big RuPaul
Jinx,
fan.
Big RuPaul fan. No, who'd have thought? She's a winner of RuPaul Season 5, and it was notably, in my opinion, and I think probably for a lot of people, one of the best performers in terms of characters. Because I know Jinx went from being obviously just a man, being a drag queen, to now being a full trans woman. To me, I was thinking, is it obviously like do we need to have the pronoun check at the start?
Oh, immediate pronouns.
Because I didn't think we needed the pronoun check. To me, Jinx looks is a woman.
You see, I think looks like a drag queen.
Looks like
And
that's
I
probably
knew
it.
had been on RuPaul's.
Looks like a drag queen. Okay, once again, not a problem. Anyway, very ideal for the role. I liked her.
I think she did really well. I don't think she was as hyped up as everyone made her out to be. Like, everyone was like, we haven't seen this since Missy. Like, this is the new Missy. Levels of up there, which I think probably just overlapped her in my head. Like, she's a good one-off villain.
Yes.
Like, very, very decent.
Very good. And thought the intro was good. And then calling the piano.
From the get-go, because of that cold open, it did feel more Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, horror opening, the behind the scenes, if you're watching, that Russell wants to move this into more of a fantastical, maybe moving a little bit away from sciencey stuff, more fantastical stuff. So then when you've got this being a child of the toy maker, part of this pantheon, we have said pantheon.
The Legion is coming.
Yeah. He who waits is coming. Well, he's not waiting then, is he? He's coming.
The man can't stop his mystery boxes. He has to do that. Like, Ruby is important somehow, mystery box. The one who waits is coming.
Ruby's really important. We full on have Ruby.
Yeah, we have a full pause.
Yeah, but the Ruby does what we've all wondered. Why isn't everyone going, I want to go see the Beatles at Abbey Road? And the Doctor's like, what?
You see, that's not my first
Why
thought,
have I never done this? But it would be up there.
Yeah.
I want to go see the Beatles make an album. And I was like, yeah, so it's crazy that they've never done it.
In season 1 or 2, they do go into a back room in the TARDIS and turn on a magical television screen and watch the Beatles perform. Because the Beatles are so big, Doctor Who wanted to put the Beatles in there. And BBC. So yeah, they literally spend 2 minutes
and then
dancing
don't they
to Beatles.
reference the whole, do you know the Beatles? And they go, oh yeah, we went to their Grand Shrine Cathedral in 2050. Like, even in the 60s, they knew the Beatles would be huge. And then, given this is 1963, the year that Doctor Who started, waiting for a reference. Oh, did we get a reference?
Yeah,
we got a complete look. That's where it all began over there.
I mean, at least they didn't go to the same place or anything. They were just off that way. Like, if you know your geography,
if you know, you know. Yeah, but the Doctor and Ruby rock up. They rock up in what will be a new tradition for this Doctor, a period accurate, as we see, perfectly timed.
They gave a fit. I think they played that pretty well. She's like, I'm not dressed for 1963.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? You're right. And then I guess he goes through a 6-hour wig putting on.
But we have a transition. I was so excited going, we finally get to see the wardrobe again. We never get to see the wardrobe.
It's a smooth transition, though. They did quite well. They used the TARDIS space.
Yeah, it's really cool camera work. And then we rock up to Abbey Road, which is known as EMI.
Yep. So a little bit of history, which again feels very Doctor Who.
I didn't know that. But it was cool to learn.
Something that's real.
Yeah, because everyone thinks of it as Abbey Road. And then we get the scene right now where I was thinking, oh yeah, bring out that psychic paper boy, and then instead it's Ruby leading the way.
He kicks it off. I think it was well done because that was one thing we were worried about. We're like, all right, it is a black guy going back in time. They just cover it with confidence, which is exactly what we wanted. We wanted him to just waltz in and be like,
the best example being the Martha Shakespeare one.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to calm me away. Why would they do that?
Yeah,
and as long as you don't acknowledge it. You don't have to worry about it. They don't acknowledge the race.
Because once you acknowledge it, then you have to always deal with it. Whereas if you just keep playing that confidence, hells yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Good luck being a Nazi.
Well, they do that. They have Ryan going back in time, getting slapped because he's black, and he touched a woman. And then they also do the Witchfinder episode.
Why Nazis when you have Daleks?
Because he didn't want to reuse villains until he did. But
so he used Nazis?
Yes.
When you have...
the oldest villains. So Jinx rocks up.
The maestro, the lord of music, if you will.
Yes, she pretty much introduced herself, winks at the camera.
Breaks fourth wall.
And then says, I'm taking all the music, baby.
Taking all the music. Music's mine. It belongs to me. Child of the toy maker. You invoked salt at the edge of the world. So therefore, you've allowed the pantheon to enter into the world like these.
Yeah.
It feels very...
he's brought him through. Which again is weird because they're referencing the specials.
Yeah,
How is this is this season 1, episode 2? If you're referencing the specials. It's messy.
So I kind of like the idea that the Doctor's dealing with potentially 2 or 3 Pantheon members. Like
it might be one per episode if we're not careful.
That's right.
The man might get carried away.
Yeah, he who waits is coming, he who coming is waiting.
Which again feels... Old RTD felt like he would write a really, really good story, and then he'd sprinkle in a little bit of garnish of Bad Wolf. He'd be like, here's your story.
You mean you just have them go, what does Bad Wolf mean?
Yeah. This feels like he wrote the story around the Bad Wolf.
The mystery box.
It's too heavy-handed. Yeah, yes. He gets the mystery box, and then he thinks of a light story, and then crams that on top of it.
So...
he's just doing it backwards, and I don't know... I don't want to say he's lost his touch, but maybe his writing style has changed and it's no longer suiting this. He's been doing too many other things.
Maybe.
Because we don't even know if he wanted to do it.
Oh, yeah. Maestro has sucked up all the music in the world.
Which just so happens to align with the Abbey Road studios.
Yeah, and there's a funny bit where they are eagerly ready to hear. You're probably going to think, I was going to Sarah going, because Millie's like, Ruby's 19. What if they're like, you look 17? She was just 17.
Oh, like they wrote it about her.
I was thinking all this. I was waiting for John Lennon to go, imagine.
Have you seen Yesterday?
Something. Yeah.
There's a lot of fun things you can do with the Beatles and their music not
existing.
And
they didn't even do enough with that. They didn't even do enough with that.
It's a good movie because it's short.
Yeah, because it's short, it's quick.
But that's the thing. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And again, I don't think the promise of the premise was delivered.
I think it was a funny reveal when it's like, I've got a dog, you've got a dog, I love dogs.
I was like, I wonder if he wrote this using AI or whether he just really thought of the shittest music he could think of.
That's it. Like, just have a non-musician. It probably works. And you've got Cilla Black. Do you know Cilla Black, the one they went into next?
No, I had no idea who that was.
She's a very famous English singer who then did game shows like Blind Date, Blankety Blank.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool to see, there's Cilla Black. But yeah, like they reference it as being that they know music is leaving and what they're doing now is the last puff of music.
Which doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you hate music so much, why are you releasing a bad album?
Yeah, but they're like doing it it's almost like they're doing it to get it out the way, that we are the last attempt at music. Once we do this, no more music ever again.
But they're talking about music as if they're disgusted. They're like, I don't want to do this.
But they seem to know music is no longer here. They're happy that it's bad. They're like, it's not good, is it?
And they're saying there's a twinkle in the back. But yes, everyone hates music. It's not that music doesn't exist and we have no musical talent anymore. Which would have been more sensible. Like, it's just, we don't know how to write music.
I also knew we weren't going to be getting any Beatles songs because they wouldn't have got the rights. But
even with Disney money, that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know the Beatles that well, to be honest. None of these people look like the Beatles, did they?
None of them look like the Beatles at all. And they only focused it on John and fucking Paul anyway.
Because that's the only 2 people I actually know. Give me a whole thing on Ringo.
He's Thomas the Tank Engine, mate.
I like the voice.
Voice of Thomas. Yeah, it's fun. I get it. We all know John and Paul, so we're going to focus on John and Paul. Paul, the leader. I'm the leader of the Beatles.
And they do the funny accents.
But he looked fuck all like Paul.
Yeah, again.
And John, I'm pretty sure, wasn't wearing glasses in '63. They had John wearing the fucking glasses. '70s John.
That's how they know him.
I don't think he was wearing the round glasses back then, but that's how people know him. John wore the round glasses.
Again, I forgive that kind of stuff. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And also, they're meant to be like fucking 19 or 20. But they're meant to be like Millie's age. Like, that could
have been interesting. They could have fallen in love with her, written songs about her.
Well, I anticipate her being on the fucking keyboard at some point, like that Ruby's on the album or something. Or something.
He's broken his fingers. He can't play.
Something like that.
That feels more like classic Doctor Who, like stupid, dumb. Cute. Whereas this is, I don't know.
Yeah, like remember the episode with Matt Smith where the Daleks play music and the Doctor goes, "Oh, that's me on the triangle," and he mimics that. He goes, "I got in."
My first mad thing, not mad. I don't know why. There's no TARDIS landing noise.
Come on!
The TARDIS travels instantaneously now.
Oh, we haven't had the TARDIS noise.
There's no.
That is weird.
Oh, it's broke. Is that about truth? It doesn't make the whirring,
he leaves the brakes on.
Whirring breathing. Yeah, has that not made a noise? It's definitely made a noise since then.
I think that's just an offhand joke.
Chib has made a noise, for sure.
I think that's just an offhand joke from...
Yes, that's the thing, but it was funny in that episode. And then
wait, don't we hear it at the very end when she's like, hold on, what's that? And he comes into the apartment. I think we hear it then. Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah, that's not fun.
That doesn't feel like a journey. Yes, that might be more realistic if you're a time-traveling space machine and you go...
Instantaneous.
But that's not fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you've gone anywhere. Giving that little whirring and everyone holding on to this shitbox driving around. That's part of the charm.
Exactly.
You can't lose that. If you have that, then it feels like the journey and then things can go wrong mid-flight. Whereas if you just flip it, I don't like it. Yeah. I want it back. Please give me back my whirring, wheezing TARDIS.
And then the Doctor and Ruby, they go up to the roof. We get a very, once again, direct reference. That's me over there with my granddaughter. You've got a granddaughter? You've got kids? Yeah, I do. Well, I don't know where she is. She could have died. I don't know. Don't think about it.
Yes, and then laughs off genocide.
He said it's
fine, which is strange. That's what we were talking about last episode, where he has the range. We know he has the range, but he's not showing us because he's laughing off everything.
And just for some reason, they've got this Doctor so far just being, when he's sad, he's very... Shooty just has a very... Every movement is very strong. Like when he hugs her, it's all very, oh my God, are you okay?
So much hugging. They're always holding hands or hugging.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's very chummy.
Yeah.
Like it's not even just when they're like, run.
There's not an unsurety.
Let's hug a bit. It's not, I'm 2,800, I'm 19. It's very much like, we're just good
They're the same. Yeah, they're the same. And, it tore me apart. And then her going, but you always win. I'm like, this is episode 3. And we're talking like, what she did then was equivalent to Clara going to Matt Smith in his last episode going, but you're the Doctor. You just, you pop back up with a new face. Like that over familiarity, you always think of something.
Yeah.
Or when River Song goes, you'll leave it to the last minute and you'll reveal.
She knows him, it's like it works.
But then we're in episode 3 and it's like, you always figure it out.
Wait till we find out they're age-old friends.
And this feels like a direct lead on to me.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like there's been other adventures.
Is it because he wrote the Christmas episode fucking ages ago, and then he feels like they've known each other for 2 or 3 years because he started writing it a long time ago?
Because he's known them for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, maybe he's known these characters for so long that they're chums in his mind. There's so much you can get from characters getting to know each other and like batting off against each other, whereas these two have had nothing. There's been no fighting, there's been no anger.
Yeah.
Like, Rose was kind of upset when the Doctor showed him her world burning. She's like, that's not cool, dude. Like, everyone I ever know is everyone I ever know is dead.
I think it's, and I'll give him this, because the whole point's going to be that she reminds him of his humanity. Like, when he wants to kill the Dalek, he's like,
but he tells her that directly. He's like, sometimes I need to see things through your eyes. Yeah. Like, which is last episode, but... Yeah,
when in this, the Doctor doesn't need that anymore because
he's a new man.
He's a new man
because he can laugh off genocide.
We have the giggle again,
which was well done. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
because I was like, "Hey, that's the giggle," but then the Doctor goes, "Hey, that's the giggle," and I'm like, "Oh, it's less fun when we both."
Yeah,
know.
And then he realizes he becomes very intensely scared,
which also means you now have to watch the specials.
another reference, and then she directly references him. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
You can watch 2005 Eccleston without watching previous, and
Yeah.
you get to know them. This is already referencing too much stuff. From
Yeah.
Even episodes that are brand new, sure, but they're not meant to be. It's meant to be the start. I don't think they thought it through, and I think it's quite messy.
Yeah, there's a mix of familiarity and unfamiliarity, and they can't really decide what they want to do. Like
Yeah.
you get these very direct scenes of like this whole thing, like when we turn the music off, that whole sequence was really cool.
Yeah,
I
so
thought.
the reason they have to turn music off, they're on the roof.
The roof of Abbey Studio.
Ruby plays the keyboard. We knew this from the Christmas episode,
She
but
plays
I'd
the
completely
piano.
forgotten because that was
I
months
remember
ago.
it. But they reference that. I
Yeah.
know you play it.
And then
Look,
he's
remember
like-
that flashback?
I know you can play, and I'm like, oh, she plays the fucking keyboard. I forgot about that. This is the first time it's come up. They just made such a big deal about it and then just left it.
It's because that's her thing. She's musical.
But it doesn't come up. And I feel like if you give a companion a thing, you obviously don't want it popping
Well,
up
you
all the
fucked up
time.
with Martha, didn't you? She was a doctor, but
yeah.
then she just becomes a lovesick
Doctor,
puppet.
doctor. It's very good when she does be doctor, though.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, it's just not used as much. And then they play music on the piano because the doctor thinks if Ruby brings back music to the world, they'll either find out what's going wrong. That's why they're on the roof, so that people can hear. And then the maestro comes out of the piano.
Very
which again,
Pennywise-esque,
It's
I
very
thought,
good. It's
yeah.
fun. And that's where we get the giggle. And the doctor gaps it. The doctor's known for running, sure.
That's 2 episodes now where he's ran in fear. And she goes, you never run away. He ran away just before.
Again, over familiarity mixed with 2 episodes in a row he's running away in fear. Whereas usually it's like he likes the running.
Yeah.
Like there's an awful lot of running to do and it's great fun. But in this, he's scared.
Because they have to kind of acknowledge the fact that the Doctor's 2000 and there's always one. In a sense.
He's constantly got a tear running down his cheek. I don't know why. Again, he's just running in fear. And then he has a whole monologue about how he can't fight this one. He can't do this.
It tore me apart last time.
We've seen him face, again, if we're treating this as the third episode maybe, we've seen him face some goblins and we've seen him face a boogie monster. I can't fight this one feels like I should have watched the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, and it feels really intense for episode 3 or episode 2, depending how you're looking at it, where...
From a deconstructive character point of view, not...
Once again, just comparing it, because it's first season, so
You
I
have
think it's
to.
okay.
There's no way not to.
I think Eccleston, when they went back, it was Charles Dickens, and it was a ghost story based on
Yes,
Charles
The
Dickens.
Unquiet Dead.
So that you have now similar famous British icon, the Beatles.
Yep.
And then it's not actually about them.
Except he was actually in that episode a lot more. Charles Dickens was in most of that episode. The Beatles aren't in this episode. They kind of, not tricked, but again, promise of the premise. They tell me we're going in 1963 to meet the Beatles. We see him for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I thought the whole point would be that the Beatles have lost their magic. I
Yeah.
thought that was going to be the plot,
It'd
is
be
that helping
yesterday.
them find their... Yeah, and then it's almost BA equivalent, maybe, but how the witches were making Shakespeare do something.
Yes,
That
which
there's
again is
someone
another one of his.
Because wouldn't that be it? That they're the Beatles, they're the most important musical band ever. If I can infect
that's why he
them,
didn't know.
the whole world will be fucked because everyone listens to the Beatles.
Yeah.
So then
If
that
music,
would be
if
it.
the Beatles music is bad,
Yeah.
maybe music in general is bad. Did it sound too easy? So that's why he tried to zag and go. But I don't think he zagged into something interesting.
Yeah, because I'm here going,
I think the villain's good.
Doctor Who probably is due a musical-only episode, so having an Abbey Road would make sense. So for them not to do that and go opposite, there's no
Yeah.
music, it's all dead. And then when we were watching it, I was like, oh, the Doctor just fixes it then. Like, just figures out the key. So I was quite happy with the whole bum note. I was happy with the...
Yes.
And then John and Paul come together and...
I like come together.
Yeah, they came together.
only-
Yeah, and then-
They probably did.
Oh.
It was the 60s, baby.
Yes. Anyway, but yeah, so they came and they solved the problem. I was happy that John...
I thought that was nice. Said that,
was
like
nice
the pianos
that-
in the hallway were fine.
Yeah.
But the not gun like sonic screwdriver can create
Twice
a cone
now
of
it's
silence.
done a USB plug-in.
Yes,
in
which
2
I'm not mad
episodes.
at. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's fine.
it works. But it makes a cone of silence somehow. Doesn't matter how. It's a magical object. It's fine. It does weird shit all the time.
We had force fields with David.
but
in
I
the
don't know
first.
why it helps. Did I miss something?
I think it's because she's using the what's it called, the
Tuning fork.
tuning fork, using that I think to track music,
Oh,
track and sound, I guess.
okay.
Also, it's just cool sometimes to have a character have an instrument.
I thought it was cool. I just didn't know why suddenly when the sound went out.
So I'm trying to track music.
I thought she'd be like, I hate this. It's a cool idea to do. But then instead of actually using that cool idea, a Deus Ex Machina, little old granny decides to try the piano out, which gets the
Gets,
maestro to
to
leave. And I was like,
remind her.
okay, that's fine, I
Yeah.
guess. But the Doctor didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He muted her for a second. He bought some time, I guess. Something turned up. He was fucked if it didn't.
Yeah, it's a bit...
Like, it's just the Doctor has less agency.
Yeah, I had that.
Even the companion has less agency, honestly. Like, she didn't do much in this episode.
Yeah, apart from all of a sudden revealing to be...
A mystery box.
And maybe a child of one of these pantheons, maybe. A child
Oh, it's got to be related.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not related.
Yeah, exactly.
So they go to the future.
Yeah, they went to the future. It's apocalypse.
To find out that, okay, this is another moment
nuclear
of like,
winter.
The
so
past
beautiful.
affects the future.
Yeah, another reiterate, because we once again, we've had that when Martha goes on one of her first adventures, and he quickly says, no, like, it's happening right now. We're right now. So, there's all these little things. But in this, because we've got that Disney money, and we want to really reiterate.
But I think that ruins it.
Until Maestro came in, and then I was like, okay, I'm okay with it now. But
bringing up the future constantly means that they are constantly changing the past.
Yeah.
They're fucking shit up all the time.
Yeah.
So if that actually is a thing that's happening, then you've got to be careful. Constantly.
Yeah, that
and they
future's
show
not
you that in
set.
the first 3 minutes with the stepping on a butterfly. And all they're doing again is reiterating it and then copying an exact Martha line that Russell has already written 15 years ago.
Yes.
It's just confusing. I keep saying that because I just don't understand what he's doing.
Because I get it, but then when this section where Maestro shows up was quite fun.
Yes.
I liked it.
It goes from me not liking it because I'm like, well, that's stupid. That's going to limit so much story potential. And then boom, the Maestro pops up. And it's a really fun, harkens back to the toy maker, them walking in on him. Honestly, Maestro doesn't get much to do in the episode, so it's good when she rocks up. So like
it
for
has
this
to be
section,
wild. Yeah.
this is good. Like, it was a lot of fun. But what I did realize it solidified in my mind was this is now a fantasy show. Doctor Who was never hard sci-fi, but it was never fantasy. Whereas...
You kind of tied the line.
Like, I love Doctor Who, and I don't think this is Doctor Who anymore. It's like, it's not my Doctor Who anymore.
If you're watching this, do you get the sense that the Doctor is a scientist, clever guy?
Not at all, no. I barely even get clever guy.
Yeah.
He's not flicking switches and learning a bunch of buttons. He
Which he
presses
was
a single
doing with
button.
the knot. I remember being so happy with the knot thing on the
knot
Christmas with the knots when he's like,
Yes,
oh, it's like a
that was fun.
network.
He felt like the Doctor. He felt a lot more like the Doctor in the Christmas special than he has
Even
in
had
his
the
jokes.
little glove, like, oh, I've been tinkering with these gloves. Like,
Yes.
very Doctor.
I don't know why it was lost here.
We've only ever had this Doctor, we've only ever written by Russell. I'm keen for next week because that's the Moffat Mine episode.
Standing on a Roomba.
So I'm keen to see what Moffat does with, like how this Doctor feels under someone else's.
Yes, and also it feels like it'll be a very character-centric episode. I think I'm okay with this being New Who. I think I'm okay with New Who. I think I'm okay with this being other people's Doctor Who, and I still have my Doctor Who. I'm not mad that this has changed.
No.
Things have to
The whole
change.
point of Doctor Who is it changes, and there's different eras we all
Exactly.
like and dislike. I have not watched the Jodie era. I'm enjoying this era more than I did. I couldn't get through those Jodie episodes.
Yeah.
They were.
that's
These
just
are not
better writing.
These are not a trial. They're back. They are fun. Shooty's fun. I'm just. Yes.
This is just better written than Jodie, but Jodie still felt like my Doctor Who.
Really?
Like, yes, it was a worse version, but it was still the same version. Whereas this
Okay.
definitely does feel new. It feels less science, more fantasy.
It's big.
It's going to be hard. I'll get more words as we get through the season and we see how it actually develops. Like, it could change. It could bring me back. But I just don't think this is the Doctor I'm expecting. And that's going to remove some old fans. They're trying for new fans. I just don't think these episodes are going to grab people enough.
This, in terms of camera work and visually and stuff, I sometimes think the Matt Smith stuff actually was better.
Yes, I think less money gives you more fun.
Yeah, I think this is so, like, the set for...
This is polished.
It's really awesome that that's a physical TARDIS set, and
Yes.
it's not the fucking... Even though it'd be really expensive.
The only real difference is you have the whole thing. Whereas
Yeah, it's a
usually they
whole...
had a little slice.
Yeah, you got the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
really awesome they've done that. But then, yeah, it seems to be the trade-off with all these great effects sides that sometimes it visually is... So I'm being a bit picky. It does look really
true.
good.
And most of the time, TV directors, they get a lot less time to play around. There's a very big difference between having money and having the time to use that money.
Yeah.
Like, a big crane shot, that takes like a day to set up. Like,
Yeah.
you can spend a full day just doing one thing. You can't do that on TV.
Yeah.
You don't have $100 million and a director that people respect.
Yes.
You have some guy that is, they're like, oh, he's pretty good. We should get him in to try his luck.
Yeah.
And then he can build off and then he can do stuff later. it just doesn't work as well.
So we get rid of Maestro, all good. Music comes back. We see Harry Harbinger's still there, so Maestro can figure out a way to come back. But that's it. He's my big up.
Before all that, Ruby's mystery box. So when in the final fight, Ruby gets captured, and I did really enjoy them getting dragged into instruments. That was a lot of fun. The final fight was a lot of fun. I wish it was a rap battle. Honest to God, I was hoping. She said music battle, and it was fun. It wasn't the devil went down to Georgia. Like, I wanted that kind of. I wanted a riff off. I wanted something
Tenacious
sick.
D, yeah.
This was just kind of like diddle-diddle-doo, diddle-diddle-doo, diddle-diddle-doo. Whereas I think doing a full riff off would have been much more fun. Again, it could just be who was in charge of whatnot. Because like, what did Russell write for that? They play notes at each other. Like, it wasn't as cool as the Doctor Strange shooting music at each other.
It's weird that's twice now because Catch was pretty lame, and now this is.
Yeah, again, the man doesn't know what to do when they give him money. He's like, shit, what if they just stand opposite? Yeah. I did write down, this feels like stupid 2005 Doctor Who, though. Like, the Doctor just doing something and someone, like, a hack off. It was equivalent to two hackers hacking as hard as they can. I think it could have been cooler. But during this altercation, Ruby gets captured and she just starts singing. She just starts singing the song, like.
Then the snow comes in. Yeah, it's Christmas. She is Christmas in a sense.
They say that?
No, but like, it's the song of Christmas.
Right. It's like, that's the mystery. She is Christmas. Yeah, she's Santa.
It's strange because
they give us nothing. We know nothing. It doesn't.
It's another reminder that she's more powerful than we realize.
It's seeing Bad Wolf again, but it's more blatant than Bad Wolf. It's Russell wanted Ruby to sing a hidden song. So he came up with, there's no more music, so she has the only music.
Yeah.
And then, someone took music. Who could take music? Jinx Monsoon took music. It's like, I feel like it was built around her rather than her being the garnish.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing, they never separated. We have never seen these two on their own.
There's no split offs.
Yes.
Oh, that's usually half the problem. I've got to get my companion back.
Because Beast Below, Amy and the Doctor get separated immediately.
They're both equally kind of good and nice and clever and caring.
Well, that's because, neither of them, there's no friction.
There's no friction yet. You're right, there's no friction yet.
It's just not, there's nothing to latch onto for me.
Rose is trying to figure him out because he's very dry, and there's one point where Chris Eccleston like leaves her.
And he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he like leaves her at one point as like a lesson for misbehaving.
Well, she gets trapped in the sunroom and almost gets obliterated in her first real episode.
And Martha has some back and forth with him, like about being all the rebound. It's a bit lame, but still. Like that he's closed off, he's very distant to her.
In her first episode, Smith and Jones, she has to go deal with the Jadoon herself because he's busy doing something else. They get to do their own things, whereas in this, they never leave each other's side. When he opens the cellar and he's like, all right, we got to hide in here from the Maestro.
Before that be the
I'm like, he's going to be like, get in, and it's to protect her. He locks her in there. But then he hides down there with her. I'm like, you little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, though, because then Donna in her season 4, when he's willing to let everyone in Pompeii die, and she has to be like, can't we just save some people? What would it really matter?
Which, again, it's that darkness, that rage, which they've deleted. They did a whole episode.
So, they haven't actually done just yet. Maybe they will. Maybe we've had the honeymoon period.
Next episode looks dark.
Yeah, the next episode looks a bit dark. But again, it feels like these episodes, because we're getting... Is it 8 more expensive episodes? It's 8 episodes, but they're all more expensive.
Which they just keep cutting episodes. Like, we had 13 once upon a time. Then we had 10. Now we've only got 8.
Yeah, 8 used to be the length of a story in Who. So we get all that. I can say now, problem solved. We get a musical number.
2 of the Beatles play the right note.
If we sing a song, obviously it can't be any kind of notable song. It has to be a new song that's just... made for this.
Before the altercation, there's a very big thing that they say. Ruby starts hearing music, and she's like, Doctor, can you hear that? And then he's like, huh?
Oh, yeah, the diegetic.
And he says, I thought that was non-diegetic.
Just a silly joke.
Is it, though? Because he winks. Jinx winks early. The Maestro winks at the camera early. Then the Doctor says non-diegetic sound, and then at the end, he winks and looks directly at the camera. Do they know they're
Just enjoy it. Don't worry about it. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, we are enjoying it. I'm just saying... what are they doing?
The Doctor hear music in his head the whole time?
It's a funny line, but they've done it too many times in this episode. Does he know he's a character in a show? Because this is the fantasy season. How weird are we getting? It's a very funny line, but it makes things very confusing depending on how it's taken.
I mean, you could explain it like the Doctor hears music in his head, like when Peter Capaldi said, like, "Oh, normally I have standing cat naps because I just skip to my bits."
Yeah.
Like, so if you had it be that the Doctor hears his own score in his head because he's that clever. He does just score
it's
his
fun
life
that way. And also, they play the theme earlier on in the episode. So it's like multiple times this episode, they break the fourth wall.
I think it's just because it's a music-based god.
But it's not a music episode.
Yeah, but she's a music-based god.
Yeah, all you have to do is say the maestro makes everyone sing to camera. Like, fuck it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But if he never does anything again with it, it's a funny line.
Yeah.
It could get weird if he doesn't, though.
Yeah. So that happens. We get a teaser about he who waits is coming. So he's not waiting, then he's coming. He's coming. And then we have that nice musical, everything's fine.
Do you think it's nice musical?
Well,
it went on for a while.
We get the big moment with the fucking Abbey Road zebra. It's like the film Tom Hanks.
Yes, they do big.
And then we get I think a pretty decent hint. We get up to the top of the building. We pan round the advertisement. It says Chris waits. Da, 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 da.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I was thinking Christmas waits, like, he who waits.
Father Christmas comes once a year or something.
Maybe it's a Christmas related thing.
I did see it and I read it, but I didn't think anything of it.
So maybe Chris Waits is a real person. It's just a coincidence, but we've just been
that's too much.
We've just been invoked.
They
he
looked
who
at
waits.
it. I read Chris Waits, and I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, it must be a period sign, or like it means something to British people. But no, you're right. Chris Waits and the Carolers. Christmas waits. Carolers.
Yeah.
It could be Santa, honestly. If they're doing everything...
What, Nick Frost is back?
Yeah, if they're doing everything really... that would be good.
It was me, the old time doctor.
They can do whatever they want because it's a fantasy show now.
Yeah, so then we get this musical... I think it's just...
It just went for a while.
I think it's Russell coming back, wanting to have fun, wanting to do something different.
Because again, I don't think he wanted to do this.
Middle 2000s, a grounded doctor was on... it was in the era of James Bond went grounded,
Dark Knight.
Batman went grounded, so Doctor Who in a fucking jacket and trousers and like combat boots made sense. So now we're in this new era where he's thinking, I don't just want to do my shtick again because I did that perfectly in 4 seasons.
But he does his shtick again multiple times.
Yeah, but I still haven't quite got because Moffat flirted with the story,
that worked.
Fairy tale because she's in a 90 Peter Pan-esque, that and all the name, the girl who waits, the man in the blue box. I'm left both these episodes, both 3 out of 5 stars, both still enjoyable. But right now, I'm hoping I'm going to be going, oh yeah, like the first episodes are good, but it really kicks off.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Christmas special way more.
Like, we've got the Bridgeton episode coming, we've got the the Bridgeton-esque episode, and we've got obviously next week. I'm hoping this time next week I'm going to go Moffat once again when he's given 50 minutes and Russell's over his shoulder. He's producing some of the best too. And it's exciting that Moffat, with all that money, has opted to go with just foot on a mine. Yeah,
that's why I'm excited because he's just completely decided not to.
You could have just done this with maestros making people sing.
Yeah.
And then you could have had your cake and eaten it. It makes sense in world. And not that you need to do it, but then now, I know you're more maulery than me, despite what you say.
I try not to.
There's no rules right now. A little bit.
But that's the thing. It's like I'm okay with sciencing, bullshitting things away, but they're not even bothering to do that.
Look at this. They're not bothering.
Yes,
and I know you meant to just be like, it's just
it's a bit
silly.
Of fun at the end
it's
of
just
the
a bit
episode.
of fun at the end of the episode. I mean, I guess you can you can explain it. Magic is rushing back into the world. The rules are a little bit wavy for a few minutes, so we can have a musical.
That doesn't make any sense to people that haven't watched anything prior. Like this,
and also
their
this
world.
type of like pantheon of gods sucking up elements is all very God of games, God of music. It's all very. That's why I'm just keen for Moffat to go. I'm just going to give you a classic Who.
Yes.
I'm not saying like, look, I've always liked Moffat. I know you're more of a Moffat guy than me. He has his problems that essentially his ideas are he's too much.
He functions best in his singles, so.
I've learned to appreciate his stuff the more I've grown away from it.
Yeah.
It's different to the classic. But it's weird because the line always used to be that Russell was character-based guy and Moffat was the big idea alien guy.
Yes, concept man.
And it's weird. He still did characters well, but Russell was always good at the dynamics with companions. So it's a bit disappointing that now 3 episodes in, I'm still not getting the dynamics other than they're really close friends.
They're really good mates.
They're really good mates.
It's rough.
And it's I'm wanting some friction. I'm wanting a bit more depth. I'm wanting that moment where Martha sits him down going, you need to tell me what's going on. And that was episode 2 or 3 when Martha asked for that.
That's kind of why I'm like, maybe that's just not the show anymore. Maybe it's just a fun, lighthearted show now.
He was like, I liked being with you because you didn't know who I was, so I got to pretend to be me.
Yeah.
But then he has to be honest with her. Right now, this guy's going, I've lost my home planet twice.
My granddaughter, probably dead.
Probably dead. Oh, you know they are. But yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm adoptive now. Man's had two huge traumas, and yeah.
But that's the thing, he did his therapy. He's fine now. Even though, again, if this is your first episode, if the Christmas is your first episode, you don't know that. That's just him. They're making a lot of weird choices, but I think I'm fine to let Doctor Who go. Still going to watch it and review it. I enjoy doing that.
But we're going to enjoy it now we're going to try our best to not be like, oh, back in season 1.
Yes, I think from
other
here
than
on
just comparable, hey, here's what they did something similar before, a bit of it. But
I think this is a spin-off almost. This is a brand new show.
If you want to say that,
with the same essence. It's like,
I think of it like comic books. There's some runs I don't deal with. Yeah. There's just
Classic Who and New Who, like,
very different.
No, they feel very similar realistically.
Oh, good.
Like there's a lot of DNA intertwined because that's what they did. They carried it over almost. Whereas this feels more separated than those two, despite
in an
those
ideal
two being
world
40 years apart.
Right now, you probably eventually, like video game movies and adaptations are getting slightly better because the people who grew up playing them are now making the shows.
Yeah,
you'd imagine at some point you would get. Maybe now you would have got a showrunner who grew up watching the new Who and not old Who.
Yeah.
I'm glad Russell's back because we're to right the ship with a proven hand.
Yes.
It's like George coming back to Star Wars in some ways.
But whether it's enough, I don't know. They've got 2 seasons, that's all we know. So we'll see how these two go.
And maybe that's why we've got a new companion. We're just trying to keep things fresh, and maybe we've got growing pains. It's different. I think if you don't know what Doctor Who is, you're still unsure what Doctor Who is after these 2 episodes. But that's just me.
Yeah. I think that's completely fair. Yeah, it hasn't solidified itself as anything in particular. It feels very
I don't know what the Doctor's like just yet with these 2 episodes in terms of skill based.
He's not grabbing me.
I'm actually a little bit disappointed so far with you too. Some people who are watching this fresh or are just a lot more sympathetic.
Yeah, if this is your first Doctor, is he grabbing you, or is it just pure charismatic energy?
Or if you're like us and you've been watching this for 20 odd years now, are you thinking, this doesn't quite feel like, because I felt like all the Doctors have still been the Doctor with their own little twists, and he right now isn't feeling like the Doctor for me. But that's just me as an old head. But
again, he did in Ruby Road, so it really is. It just seems he has the potential, he has the capacity, just isn't currently.
He did in Ruby Road. He did in Ruby. He was the Doctor in Ruby Road. Yeah. Just right now, he's just adventuring pal. He's you thought of him as your dashing young companion, but he saw stars fall to dust. Thanks. Peace out. Come on, Moffat.
You should subscribe as well.